ID columns are columns that hold a unique value for each row in a table. Typically, ID columns are automatically populated. The method for creating an ID column is not standardized. How you create an ID column is different for every database system. I'm going to show you how this works in SQLite, the database system we're using here. Keep in mind that this will be different for other database systems. I'm showing you this just so you have an idea of how it works, but know that the specific syntax will be different on different systems. So here I'm using the in-memory database, and we'll start by creating a table. Now, this first column is the ID column, so I'm going to name it ID. You can name it whatever you like. ID is pretty common, and it'll be an integer. And for SQLite and most database systems, the ID column has to be of an integer type of some sort. And in SQLite, if you use the keywords primary key, and this is where the constraint goes in the syntax, this will automatically generate IDs in SQLite. In other words, it invokes a sequence generator and it'll create sequential numbers in that column. And we'll just create a couple of other columns here. We'll call them A and B. A will be an integer and B will be text. And remember, I don't put a comma after that last column in the definition. And now we'll go ahead and add some rows to the table. And that looks like this: insert into test. And we'll specify A and B columns. And I'll just copy that a couple of times. Call them 11 and 12 and B and C. And we'll put in a select statement so we can see what is in our table now. Press the Go button, and you see our ID column has been automatically populated with sequential numbers. Internally, the database system creates a sequence generator that's keyed to this table. Every time a new row is inserted into the table, the system will use the sequence generator to create a new unique value for the ID column. Each table may have only one ID column, and each row will have a unique value in that column. ID columns are very common in relational databases. They make it easy to create a relationship between rows in different tables. Keep in mind that the method for creating ID columns varies significantly from system to system. So this syntax is not portable. It's not part of the standard. You'll need to find out how it's done for the system you're using in order to use the correct syntax.